what A and C is. Look at this is kind of our thing to follow. Whatever's in front of the x squared term, or t in this case, t squared term is my A. What's my A? 3. What's my C? So multiply 3 times 4 for me. What do you get? 12. So that's what AC is. Okay, is 12. You have to come up with factors of 12 whose sum is 8. We can use 12 and 1, right? What is 12 plus 1? 13, right? Danielle, what do you have for 6 and 2? Everybody agree with that? 6 and 2? And what do you notice about the signs? They have to be positive, don't they? Because if the last term is positive, you know they have to be same signs, right? The middle term tells me they both have to be what? They both have to be positive. In this case, we know that the only factors of positive 12 is that added together equals 8 is 6 and 2. Remember, not factors of 12 whose sum is B. 6 and 2. Okay, does that make sense how you have the factors of 6 and 2? Okay, all right. So what do we do first, guys? Bring down what term first? The 3t what? The 3t squared. And then what do we do with the 8t? Break it up into 2 what? The two factors, right? What are we going to write down? 6t, right? Good. Good, Laura. 6t plus 2t, correct. Plus, and then what do we bring down for the, what's the last term? What is our last term? 4, right, Megan? Yep, 4. So we bring down the 4. So now we've got a 4-term polynomial. We just expanded it, kind of what we can think of. We bring down the first term, we bring down the third term, and we expand this into our 2 factors. 6t plus 2t is 8t. That makes sense, it works. Okay, we've got a 4-term polynomial. How do we factor a 4-term polynomial? By what? By grouping, right, by grouping. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and group our first 2 together and our what 2? Our last 2, yep. All right, let's pause there for a second. Does that make sense so far? All right, now we need to pull out our greatest common factor. What is the greatest common factor of 3t squared and 6t? 3 what? 3t, yep. Because is 3 a factor of 6? And is t a factor of t and t squared? Yep. So we're going to factor out a 3t. Ask ourselves, 3t times what is 3t squared? T, yep, plus 3t times what is 6t? 2t or just 2? Right, because we already factored out t. So we're left with just 2 here. Yep, plus, what is the greatest common factor of 2t and 4? 2, right. And 2 times what is 2t? T, plus 2 times what is 4? 2. Okay, now tell me what should be the same? The t plus 2, right? Do we notice that these 2 are the same? Is that what we want? we better. We have to make sure that those 2 binomials are the same. If they're not, then we have to go back and reevaluate what we did. Because these should be common binomial factors. So we're going to pull this out. We're only going to pull out one of them. So if we pull out t plus 2, what is left outside of our common binomial factors? 3t plus what? Plus 2. And we just factored that. Okay? Is it a little bit easier that time than the first time? A little bit easier? Still probably a little bit difficult, but again, I told you, this is one of the harder sections there is in this chapter because of how involved it is, okay? All right, let's try this next one and see if you guys can be a little bit more of see if you guys can kind of help try it yourself a little bit and see how you do, okay? I'm not going to give you a ton, we're not going to give you a ton of these problems tonight because we know they take a little bit longer. So that'll at least not be, again, we have to make sure you understand the process. So, all right, let's have you guys